They're not the rich and famous. Their profit comes not from the thing they sell, but the good they do. But nonprofit organizations don't get the credit they deserve. Housing the homeless, feeding the hungry, spaying stray cats and dogs, showing kids how to dance and sing, preserving our landscapes and history, teaching literacy to folks both native and foreign-born, helping the adult with disabilities, and the struggling single mom. Nonprofits keep our community connected when all else fails, and we are proud to shine a spotlight on these life-giving organizations to give them more. That's right, buzz.
And greetings, everybody. Welcome to Buzz Live. There we go. We are here once again at Mill Mountain Theater's Waldron Stage in downtown Roanoke, Virginia, where all this month we are featuring some of the amazing people who serve at the various nonprofit arts and cultural organizations supported by Center in the Square. In our first two shows, we featured the O. Winston Link Museum, the Roanoke History Museum, Roanoke Pinball Museum, Starcade, and Kid Square. And tonight, as it so happens, we had already scheduled to star the Science Museum of Western Virginia, which perhaps isn't feeling quite as supported by Center in the Square these days after the news broke this week that its lease is not being renewed after 2026. So we will chat later in the show with Science Museum Executive Director Mary Roberts Baako about the museum's present and future, while also meeting a special guest she brought along with her and a science show. We will also chat with Mill Mountain Theater's Managing Director Matt Shields and hear two songs from the theater's upcoming production of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and The Lightning Thief, the Percy Jackson musical, performed by four of its amazing conservatory actors. Real quickly, my name is Michael Hemphill. I'm the creator and host of the TV show Buzz that airs every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. on Blue Ridge PBS, where we feature the great work that nonprofit organizations do, and the marketing professionals affiliated with the American Advertising Federation of Roanoke, who donate their time and talent helping these life-giving organizations achieve more. You're so well trained. Thank you so much. You can follow along on our website, buzzforgood.com. That's buzz, B-U-Z-Z, number 4good.com, as well as our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, even TikTok for the kids over there, all at Buzz for Good. I want to thank all this great live streaming comes to you courtesy of my man, Rob Orthwine over there. Rob, please say hello. I want to thank our house band, Cindy Blevins, who is the music director of Mill Mountain Theater. Yes, yes. And of course, I want to thank our sponsors. We have the Community Foundation serving Western Virginia. Hold your applause, hold your applause. There they are. We have Friends of the Blue Ridge, which builds better community throughout the Blue Ridge region of Virginia and North Carolina. Partners in Financial Planning, a Southwest Virginia-based financial management firm, and the Candy Store, housed in the bottom floor of Center in the Square, and MLEX Construction Company. So many thanks to our sponsors for making this show possible. Now, the first star of our show tonight, once again, is Mill Mountain Theater. And again, we are broadcasting live from the Waldron Stage, which should explain the door to nowhere up there in the corner. That door is part of the set of the upcoming production of their humorous and haunting one-woman play called Natural Shocks, which is opening, ominous music. Thank you, Cindy. It's opening February 5th and running through February the 8th. Information and tickets can be found at millmountain.org. Now, preparing for Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, here is Mill Mountain Theater's conservatory students. Come up here and take it away.
there's gonna be a fight. There still might be a war. For the moment, we've got danger on the run.
And things will get bad before they will get better. It may feel like an ending, but the battle's just begun.
Are we ever gonna once have it easy?
Nope.
Feeling ready, feeling stoked.
Feeling queasy.
We could fail, but we have to try.
Don't feel bad, cause we're usually about to die. Bring on the monsters, bring on the monsters, bring on the real world. Bring on the monsters, bring on the real world.
There'll be times when your faith is shaken. They're breaking your heart, then try to hear it pound.
Gotta know where the real fight lies when it's time to rise and stand your ground.
Don't have to go it alone.
They'll put us in a box, but we won't be content.
You keep open, you keep your eyes open.
Cause the sea doesn't like to be restrained.
No, I'm never gonna once have it easy. I'll make mistakes of my own and it frees me. Summer's over, it's time to begin. And if you're looking for trouble, then count me in. Bring on the monsters, bring on the monsters, bring on the real world. Bring on the monsters,
Bring on the real world. Bring on the real world. Bring on the real world. The real world. And I'll be back next summer, you'll see me again. I'll be back next summer, I'll survive till then. I'll be back next summer, you'll see me again. I'll be back next summer, I'll be back next summer, I'll be back
bring on the
next
real
summer.
world.
Try,
I'll
just
be
try.
back next summer.
Try.
I'll be
Bring
back
on the
next
real
summer.
world.
I'll be back next summer. I'll be back next summer. Back
on the
next
real
summer.
world.
Just
Bring on your sense of challenge. Bring on the real world.
I'll be back next summer. I'll be back next summer.
All right, all right. Spectacular. Thank y'all so much. Leave that one there if you would. That was awesome. One more time from Mill Mountain Theater's Conservatory. All right, our next guest has been the talk of the town this week, perhaps inadvertently so. Mary Roberts Baako is the executive director of the Science Museum of Western Virginia, and her appearance tonight connects a lot of dots in my professional life. My first job here in Roanoke was as a reporter for the Roanoke Times. So the former journalist in me is very appreciative of her willingness to come on the show in spite of this week's breaking news. As the former director of marketing and fundraising for the Science Museum of Western Virginia from 2012 to 2014, it's a place that, as I mentioned a couple weeks ago, helped inspire buzz. I definitely value its mission here in Southwest Virginia. So it's my pleasure to welcome here Mary Roberts Baako, Executive Director of the Science Museum.
Well, thank you for having me.
So I would grab a seat. And before we get started with a conversation, you've brought some people along. So I'd love for you to introduce them here.
I brought some people and some animals.
And some animals.
We have Shannon Wright, who is our manager of living collections, and she's our animal mama.
Hi.
All right.
And we have Amanda, which I'm not sure if she's coming up yet, but she is one of our educators, and she specializes in early childhood education and does our Lab Junior programming out all around the city.
All right.
Hi. So we brought two of our animal friends with us tonight. Two of our longest lived ambassadors that have been with the museum for so long. We brought Mr. Franklin here. He's our eastern box turtle. He's actually been with our museum for over 20 years.
I remember Franklin.
Yeah,
I was there. Yeah.
He's been here for a long time. He's actually about 45 years old. These guys can live to be over 100, so we hope to have many, many years with him still. He's one of our most beloved ambassadors. He's very good at his job. We just wanted to briefly introduce a couple of them. A fun fact about Franklin is his favorite food is tomatoes. And he loves a tomato, and these guys are actually vulnerable in this area. So we definitely want to protect them. And then we do have one of our other native species we'd love to feature.
He also loves cranberries. At Thanksgiving, he gets some cranberries.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So we also brought another one of our native species here in Virginia. This is Shadow. Shadow's actually been with our museum for over 16 years. These guys can live to be about 20 to 30 in captivity. And she's actually was diagnosed with arthritis last year, so she's a little slower moving now. But she's very well loved. She's definitely one of our favorites. We've gotten lots of people over their fear of snakes and how great they are to our environment, taking her to programs and introducing her to guests. Animal outreach is one of our biggest things at the museum, and we love to meet people and sort of our ambassadors. They're always very happy and very good at their job. These guys are one of our longest snakes in North America, and we brought one of her snake sheds to show you. These guys actually can reach about 10 to 12 feet long. So this is one of her complete sheds, which is pretty cool. And if you were to get up close, you can actually see the little eye caps on them. These guys don't have eyelids. They have little scales called spectacles. So just a little fun fact for you. Yeah.
How many animals does the Science Museum have?
We have over 200. That includes over 240 parakeet friends. And we have lots of reptiles. We have hissing cockroaches, turtles, lizards, all sorts of fun stuff.
Macaws.
Our macaws, yes.
I will say
My
that
bird
she
friends.
knows, if it's kind of amazing if you go in the parakeet garden, Shannon knows every single one of their
Lots of our
names.
parakeets have names, and I could tell you all of them. They're my babies. I've hand-raised quite a few of them as well.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Now, I assume that what's on the table is not meant for you, but perhaps...
No,
Okay.
it's our next thing.
All right. I'll allow you to introduce part 2.
And this is Amanda, and we tried to, it's kind of hard to fit an experiment or some kind of live science in a couple minutes, so we just did kind of your basic elephant toothpaste because that's always a fan favorite, and especially in such a short amount of time.
Oh, yeah. Elephant toothpaste is a lot of fun. Anything that explodes or grows and does something fun like that is the best to use with kids. All right, so with elephant toothpaste, we have hydrogen peroxide and yeast, and we're going to put our, I have warm water in here that's going to help us get our yeast all nice and ready and activated, and this will cause a chemical reaction when it is mixed with the hydrogen peroxide. All right, let's stir that really quick while I pour the hydrogen peroxide straight in here. All right. And then I'm going to add a little food coloring and a little dish soap. The dish soap will help it foam up a little bit and make it look better. And then if you take the food coloring and actually stick it to the edge of the container, then when it comes up, it's going to get some stripes. So you'll get to see some really cool stripes as this chemical reaction happens. You stir this really quick. I'm gonna need a little bit more of this. There we go. All right, are you guys ready to see a nice toothpaste? Here we go, 1, 2, 3. And there it goes. Coming up, and over.
Oh, lovely.
And as you can see, you'll get the stripes.
Just like Chris. Just like Chris.
Just like Chris, right. Exactly. So I get to do this with all our kiddos in the area. And my latest project has been expanding our Lab Junior program with our pre-K.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
There
I will
we
say,
are. Thank you so much.
She's done a fabulous job. We just kind of worked out a partnership with TAP and Head Start, and so we're going to pilot going in with our Lab Junior program to, we're starting with 2 or 3 of their sites and then hopefully expand all 7.
Wow. Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for being here. So you've got obviously over 200 animals. You've got science shows and educators that go out into the community. What's the, like for someone who perhaps doesn't know anything about the Science Museum and walks in for the first time, or just somebody out in the community, what is the thing that surprises them the most about what the Science Museum does?
I think, and thank you for asking that, because it's been the topic of conversation, and it's an opportunity for us to talk about our story. I think what surprises people is really how far and how deep, our impact expands into the community. And so, I talked earlier this week when I issued a statement. We're a museum. We invite people in, but we're also, our footprint extends far, far beyond our walls. And so whether it is after-school programming, whether we are going into schools, we have contracts with all of the localities, and we go in and we work with them on SOLs, and we bring science outside of the textbook. And so we're in Botetourt. Every day we're in Salem, we're in Roanoke County, Roanoke City Schools, and it's an impact that is felt. But we also, we're having a hackathon next month, which a lot of people don't even, they think it's like a vague computer hacker, but they're builders. We have a group of high school students who are coming in, and they're going to build some software.
Lovely. Well, I saw something, I think a Facebook event, which I thought was really clever. Love Hurts over
Yes.
Valentine's weekend. Hertz, H-E-R-T-Z.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody get it out, right? Science,
That
right?
is correct. And so that is part of our Sight and Sound series in the eye. And we have 2.
And when you say the eye, you're referring to the
The
planetarium?
eye planetarium.
Right, yes.
And yes, and we specifically call it the eye because we do star shows, but we also create additional content, and we really pride ourselves on collaborating with other organizations in the community. For example, Roanoke Baroque is coming, and this will be our 2nd year with them, and they play a beautiful set. I hope I'm saying that right. And we create the vision and visuals around it, and really deeply collaborate with people.
Lovely.
But Love Hurts is one of our in-house productions, and it's quirky. It's probably 18 plus, but it'll be a lot of fun. So.
Awesome. So, kind of getting back to the news of the day. Over the last several years, like when I was working at the Science Museum, it had just reopened Center of the Square. The big renovation that took place, I believe, in 2012 or so, 2013, we moved back in. And at that time, you had the History Museum on the 3rd floor. You had the Harrison Museum of African American Culture on the 2nd floor. Of course, the Science Museum was the 4th and 5th floors. Since that time, the History Museum moved out over to O. Winston Lake Museum. Last summer, the Harrison Museum moved out to Melrose Plaza, and I would argue that both organizations are in a much better location and situation where they are now. And I don't know all the reasons that led to them leaving Center of the Square, but they are in a great position now. And I know Center of the Square used those spaces to create Kids Square. Roanoke Pinball Museum got an expansion. Starcade got an expansion, which, by my way of thinking, Center of the Square is really becoming perhaps more of an entertainment destination rather than an arts and cultural destination, which is great. But I do hope that Science Museum is able to be situated just as beautifully after leaving Soon Square. And I think we all hope that, moving forward, because it's been around now for
50, almost 50 plus years.
50 plus
We
years, Science
are
Museum,
which always amazes me. We are the oldest science museum in the state of Virginia. We're the
Yep.
first. And if you think about that and what that means,
Yep.
that's a group of teachers, a lot of them women, in 1970, who got together after school and said, we need something else. We need more kids getting interested in science and technology because we know, and I think we all can say this, we know what subjects and fields lead to economic mobility.
Yeah. What, I know you're probably having a variety of very confidential conversations right now with your board and with community leaders. What can you share with us here tonight about maybe the future home of the Science Museum?
Not the
Nothing.
$50 million question.
I tried. Okay.
But I understand that people are asking questions, and I would too. And we're close to being able to make an announcement. And there's a reason that this is the first time that I am doing any type of interview. It's because I have put my head down, and I'm going to make sure. I ask our board and other people, I say, and we started this conversation a year ago, so this isn't just, I said in 20 or 25 years, when we look back at what our generation built in this community, what is going to make us look back and say we're proud that we built that? And what does our role play in that? Because, in many ways, like teachers struggle with, we're planting seeds. We bring, there are kids in here who are going to be tomorrow's neurosurgeons, who are building robots and machinery that are going to solve some of the world's challenges that we face. And we can't live in a community where that is not a value system for us.
Roanoke's staking so much right now in biotech and everything that for the future of the region, that what you're doing or what you're aspiring to do is vital to plant those seeds.
Yes, and so I can tell you that whatever we will announce soon, it's going to be big, and it's going to be something that we know is going to make the community proud. And if I can, we've received so many messages and comments, phone calls. We came in on Tuesday and we had, 24 messages. I think the staff was like, oh my gosh, what is this? And all 24 of those were just people calling and saying, are you guys okay? Like, what's going on? Like, please tell me it's not true. And that speaks to something, because there is a collective shared identity and something that, we built, and we were the first. Our little pocket in Southwest Virginia in 1970 said, science belongs here. And I'm not going to be the one that says science doesn't belong here.
Amen. Beautiful. I can't imagine what all you've got to do over the next 11 months to prepare for this. What can we as a community do to help and support the Science Museum over the next year?
Well, the first thing is just to remember that we're still open until in this home until December 2026. And so if you're a teacher, book a field trip. They are booking up very quickly for spring. If you're a family, come visit us. Please buy a membership. I know it's an odd ask, but we did list our membership policies on our website, and there will be a pause and carryover.
Good.
But donate or comment on our posts and share stories. We've had beautiful, really deeply personal stories that people have shared about memories and walking through the door and what it meant for them and their family.
Yeah. Well, it was among my favorite jobs. And certainly, and while I was there, I couldn't imagine of working anywhere else, because it was every day was such a joy to see all the people's lives and kids' lives that we were inspiring with science. And I'm an English major, right? So I was learning every day. So it was spectacular. So
Well,
thank you so much. Yep.
I just want to say one thing. I always laugh with my husband. My first day at work at the Science Museum, I went home and I said, I am working in the Big Bang Theory, the show. It's all there. Like all there, every different,
Yep.
field. So thank you.
Well, thank you, everyone. Mary Roberts Baako, Executive Director of the Science Museum. Thank you so much. All right, stay up here. And with that, let me get all of our guests back up on stage. Come on up here. That will do it for our show tonight. I do want to take a moment to thank our sponsors once again, the Community Foundation serving Western Virginia, Partners in Finance. Y'all are nonprofits. You know what it means to thank the sponsors. Partners in Financial Planning, Friends of the Blue Ridge, MLEX Construction Company, and the Candy Store. Next week's show, our final show of this series of Buzz Live from Center of the Square, we're going to have Opera Roanoke. We're going to have the Community Foundation serving Western Virginia again, and we're going to have Melissa Webster from Center of the Square. Are you still here? Yes? Yep. She's going to come share her Center in the Square story. Until then, thank you so much for being here tonight. Continue being a buzz for good in the community you hold dear, and supporting the nonprofits that make your community an even better place to live. Bye now.